Afternoon, peeps. Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully, you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. Let's have a look and see what there is today. By the way, we hit 55,000 subs. I don't know when it happened. I only checked a couple of days ago, and I realized we hit that number. So thank you so much to everyone that has subscribed recently, all the old school subscribers. Onwards and upwards to 60,000, and then eventually the big 100. It's going to happen. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. I don't know when, but it's going to happen. Let's have a look. What is there to talk about? Let's start here. Munguia's whole career was made for this moment, says Algieri on Canelo clash. Yeah, it's a big fight. It's a big fight, man. This is what he's wanted. This is what, I guess, any Mexican in and around Canelo's weight division, this is it. This is the moment, right? This isn't the lottery ticket. It's bigger than that. Munguia is already a millionaire. This is something different. And look, it's going to be a good fight. I will say this, though. I mean, Munguia's biggest name on the resume or toughest fight probably is Derevyanchenko. Obviously, last time out, John Ryder. This is Canelo. So that's John Ryder. Again, not being disrespectful, but that's John Ryder. That's Derevyanchenko. Canelo's here. The magnitude, the step up is incredible. I think he's ready for it. I think he's got the right mentality. I think he's got a good corner team now with Freddie Roach. He's a good boxer. He's ready. He's ready, but I think Canelo's ready as well. So look, I mean, if he beats Canelo, Jesus Christ, but I expect Canelo to get the job done and then move on to question mark in September. In the lead up to Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, spare a thought for Shakur Stevenson. Yeah, I mean, look, I said this the other day about Shakur Stevenson. Like, when's he back? I did see something the other day, actually. Let me see if I can find it, about Shakur coming back to the ring in July. But yeah, he's missing out on all the big ones. I mean, these are the big ones. If you're Ryan Garcia, you've had a couple of really big ones. Shakur's had Oscar Valdez, and I don't think that wasn't pay-per-view. So he's not even had a big pay-per-view fight yet. So you have to spare a thought for him, because of that group, he's considered the best boxer. He's considered the most talented, and every other fighter in that group's had not just one big one, a couple of big ones. I mean, you look at Teofimo Lopez, he's had Vasily Lomachenko and Josh Taylor, big fights, maybe not pay-per-view, but big fights. Ryan Garcia's obviously had Gervonta Davis, is going to have Devin Haney. Devin Haney's had Vasily Lomachenko. Regis Prograis going to have Ryan Garcia. Gervonta's had Ryan. Everyone's had a big one apart from Shakur Stevenson. It doesn't say who he's fighting in July. I can't even think of who it could be. Can't even think. I mean, I was about to say Frank Martin, but Frank Martin's fighting Gervonta. So yeah, no idea who it's going to be. I look forward to seeing it, and hopefully it's a big-ish name. I wouldn't mind him jumping up to 140 if he can't get any of the big names in the ring at 135. Dillian Whyte fights this weekend. Dillian Whyte returns on Sunday, I think it is. Joe Joyce fights this weekend as well in that Magnificent 7 card. Joe Joyce versus Cash Ali, who Joe Joyce should run through. Like, should run through him like a hot knife through butter. But we don't know how those two defeats to Zhilei Zhang have affected him. I mean, he got hurt a lot in that. And I remember speaking to Tony Bellew about this, and he was like, obviously Joe Joyce was kind of built on this, he can't be stopped, he's a Terminator. And once that gets cracked, you never know. But look, I mean, it would be the upset of all upsets if Cash Ali beats Joe Joyce. So yeah, Joe Joyce is back this weekend. Dillian Whyte, I think, has a harder task in fighting Christian Hamer. Christian Hamer's been in there with everyone, gives you some good rounds, but eventually they all beat him. But that's not a gimme for Dillian. Bear in mind, Dillian hasn't fought since November 2022, and he didn't look good in that Jermaine Franklin fight either. I don't know if he's still with Buddy McGirt, so it could be a case of a new trainer. So I don't think that's an easy one for Dillian Whyte. If Dillian Whyte can make a statement, then obviously his name's going to be thought of when these big Saudi Arabia cards come up, because he's a big name. So is Joe Joyce. So yeah, hopefully both of these guys get wins, and hopefully both these guys are in big fights next. Talking of big guys, I was just walking home and someone stopped me. By the way, it's always nice when people that watch the channel stop me, because you always sort of stop and have a good conversation about boxing. And this guy, whose name is Tim, there you go, Tim, said, Addy, you haven't spoken about Deontay Wilder. And I haven't really spoken about Wilder. I think I might have done a video in the aftermath of that Parker defeat, but that's kind of been it. And it's just because I don't know what Wilder's doing. well, we do have an update. We do know what Wilder's doing. Wilder's coming back. Wilder hasn't sort of hung up the gloves. Wilder is still very much thinking about boxing, and this is the wrong time. I mean, there are times to call it quits. This is the wrong time to call it quits with the amount of money on offer right now. Deontay Wilder is still a big name. I think we all can appreciate that Joseph Parker is a good fighter. He's a good fighter. And look, if you're Deontay Wilder, he's got a lot of, I don't know, I think he kind of got a lot of negative press for that defeat. But, I mean, what are you going to do if you've had one round of boxing in 22 months? What are you going to do? Wilder is all about timing. Like, Wilder, he's never boxing beautiful, right? You watch all the Wilder's fights like a lot of you have, like I have. Wilder's not boxing beautiful. His legs get tangled up. He swings windmills. But he's always about timing. For him, it's about, can he land that forehammer at the right time? The one thing that's going to go if you've not been in the ring for 22 months is your timing. I mean, look, Wilder's no spring chicken either. He's 38. Again, he's coming off a couple of bruising defeats to Tyson Fury. So what's left? I think there's something left, but he needs to be active. 38 sounds old, but for some reason, in today's boxing landscape, it isn't that old. I mean, look at the pound for pound number one. Terence Crawford is what, 36, 37? Beterbiev is going to be 40 or is 40. Alexander Usyk's old. Zhili Zhang, I know obviously coming off a defeat now, but prior to that, 39 when he beat Joe Joyce. I mean, there are many others. Canelo, 33, 34. Like 38 isn't as old as it once was if you look after yourself. So, and I think he does that. He always seems to be in shape, Deontay Wilder. So he'll be back. And then it's a case of, okay, who does he fight? I mentioned a couple of people that are fighting this weekend that he could match up with, Joe Joyce or Dillian Whyte. But there's one name that I saw on the weekend. I actually saw him, we had a little conversation, and I think he's going to get the opportunity. I really do. I think he deserves the opportunity. On that AJ Otto-Volin card, a lot of people were praising AJ as one of maybe the performance of the night. A lot of people were praising Dubois. A lot of people were praising Joseph Parker. One name that everyone seems to leave out from the conversation is Agit Kabayel. Agit Kabayel looked fantastic against Arslanbek Makhmudov. Looked fantastic. Arslanbek's no killer, but he came into that ring as a massive favourite. He did. He came into the ring as a massive favourite. And Kabayel broke him down. Hurt him to the body, went up top. Like, really good performance and stopped him. And I almost feel like maybe because of, again, the other names I just mentioned and what happened, Opataya putting Ellis Zorro to sleep, I almost feel like everyone's forgot about Kabayel. Kabayel had a really good performance, and I feel like this Riyadh season, or this what they're doing in Saudi, has all been built on, if you have a good performance, we're going to give you a big name next. Kabayel deserves a big name next. And I almost feel like for Wilder, you don't want to go again in with a killer. If Wilder goes in with an absolute killer, I'm talking top 5, top 6 guy, then I don't know. Wilder needs to stay busy, needs to stay active. I think Kabayel deserves an opportunity. I think it's a perfect matchup. Kabayel will come to fight. Again, we saw this with Makhmudov. He didn't hide, didn't shy away, didn't fight on the back foot. He was aggressive against the giant, who's, by the way, around the same size as Wilder, if not a bit taller. I think it makes sense. And I would be surprised if Kabayel doesn't get a name, and I'd be surprised if we don't see Wilder back in the ring very soon. And I mean very soon. I don't think Wilder will be chucked on this May 18th card. We know, or we think we know the undercard, but who knows, right? It's 2 months away. I think that's enough time for Wilder to be added to that card. I mean, we can add a name to the card, right? And I think the June 1st card is Matchroom versus Queensbury, so I don't think he can jump on that one. But Wilder will be back sooner rather than later. And I think Kabayel's a great name. Again, let's give someone something for winning. And I think Kabayel deserves a big opportunity for that performance. So yeah, there you go, Tim. That's my thoughts on Deontay Wilder. I feel like he's been criticised a lot. And I get it, right? But and it's weird how, because he lost to Parker, people are now criticising Fury. It's almost like Wilder was shit anyway, and Fury just beat him. Wilder was never fucking, boxing royalty in terms of skills. But in terms of landing that, let's not sleep on Wilder. And to land that, you've got to have your timing. And again, your timing's going to be off if you've been out the ring for that long. So I still feel like Wilder has something to offer. So we'll see what Wilder can do when he comes back. And I think he'll be back very, very soon. That's not inside information. That's just what Ade Oladipo thinks. Baumgardner Pursoon, WBC purse bids set for Friday. Pursoon is horrible work for anybody. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Pursoon is horrible work for anybody. Horrible. Aggressive. I don't know what's left of Pursoon, but look, let's not forget, she's the one that everyone think, and I think everyone forgets this, by the way. She fought Katie Taylor on the undercard. I'm pretty sure it was the undercard of AJ Ruiz, wasn't it? And I think if you ask everyone that was there, I think everyone says she beat Katie Taylor. Even their rematch was very, very close. So she's a bit of a nightmare. So we'll see what Baumgardner can do with her. Another female fight that was announced today. The press conference was announced as well. I've just seen the photos. Jessica McCaskill against Lauren Price. Good opportunity for Lauren Price here. I almost feel like she's been on the outside looking in, not really been able to get in the mix. Jessica McCaskill, world champion, who's now definitely in the mix. Like, definitely in the mix. So, who did McCaskill? That's it, Sandy Ryan. She got away with it, didn't she? I remember she drew. I thought they were going to go again, but obviously Sandy's fighting Terry Harper. She got away with it and kept her belts. I remember when it was announced and her smile, like, oh my God, another payday coming up, and she gets her payday, and Lauren Price gets an opportunity. So good luck to both of them. Big fan of Lauren Price. Big fan of Jessica McCaskill as well. Should be a good scrap. I just saw announced for you MMA fans, Nate Diaz is going to take on Jorge Masvidal in a 10-round boxing match at 175 pounds. And that wasn't alarming because those guys have been talking about this for a while. What was alarming was the pay-per-view price for this event. Early birds, you got to get there early. I think if you buy it now, you can get the pay-per-view for $49.99, so $49.99. On the day, or I guess within the week, it's $79.99. What is that in English money? So I just got to find out what this is. $39.99 in pounds. That is £62 and 46 pence. American pay-per-view prices are astonishing. That is basically double, more than double what we consistently moan about over here. More than double. What's AJ now? Is AJ $30? Is that what it is? £30, sorry. I don't think it's even that. Is AJ that? I don't know, but £62.46 for fucking Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal. What's the fucking world coming to? That's crazy. That is honestly crazy. I just mentioned Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia. It looks like Ryan's fighting, by the way. I mean, I've made a couple of videos saying Ryan shouldn't fight. I'm guessing DAZN are not going to be too happy with those, but look, he's clearly going through something, but all of a sudden, it looks like whatever he's going through is done, and he'll be fighting. He'll be fighting Devin Haney. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think a lot of people will think that he has absolutely no chance in that fight as well. I actually think he does have a chance. Don't get me wrong, you have to make Devin a favourite, rightly so. Devin's unbeaten, 2-8 world champion. He's riding high right now. But yeah, you have to make Devin a big favourite. Conor Benn, this is interesting. I'm not going to turn down an offer to fight legend Manny Pacquiao. There you go then. I'm guessing this fight will be in Saudi. If they deem it fit to see that fight happen, then it will happen. It will happen. Conor Benn's about his Benjamins, and Manny Pacquiao certainly about his Benjamins. It's really sad. Pardon me. It's really sad to see Manny Pacquiao chasing money. Really sad. Manny Pacquiao would have made hundreds of millions in his career. Hundreds. There can't be 10 boxers in the history of the sport. In fact, I'd go, about 10. No. I was going to say 5. But anyway, look, he's definitely in the top 10 in terms of fighter earnings in his career. So there can't be more than 10 boxers that have made more money than Manny Pacquiao. And I get it. He went for a run to be president of the Philippines, and that would have ate a lot of his money. But I heard about tax problems way before then. The fact that Manny Pacquiao, 45, is chasing $1 now, like, it's always sad when you hear about these stories of athletes that have made hundreds of millions in their sports, which is rare, right, for an athlete to make that kind of money, and then lose it. And then you start trying to chase it. And boxing is the only sport where you can chase it. You can't chase it in football. No one, you can't fucking sign a contract at 45. You can't chase it in tennis. Boxing, you can chase it because you've got a name. It's horrible. I hate it. But yeah, looks like he's going to come back and fight. All right, guys, girls, I think, we are done. I think some news coming in about Daniel Dubois that I think will excite people. Daniel Dubois is starting to get some names under his resume as well. I'm a big fan now of Daniel Dubois. Didn't quite get him before. I certainly get him now. This guy comes to fight. And that win against Jarrell Miller is going to hold him in good stead when the going gets tough, when he steps up a level. And I heard that his next fight, he's stepping up a level. Peace and love.